The beginning of this heart-stopping story shows America, where recently there have been several terrorist attacks. The US military now is very vigilant. We are shown a man who has a phone in his hand, but he isn't talking to anyone. Suddenly, several US military soldiers appear from behind and start catching him. The man's mouth is covered with clothes so that he doesn't know where they are taking him. Many other unknown people, with clothes wrapped around their faces, are also taken away in helicopters and boats. They are transported to another island, where it is revealed that all these people are major criminals who carried out bombings in America. Now they are being detained for punishment in a detention center, a place from which no criminal could escape. They are kept in small cages where all facilities are provided from time to time, but no one has been able to escape from here. Several years pass within the detention camp, and many new military soldiers are brought in. Among them is a girl named Evie, who also dreamed since childhood of becoming a US military soldier. Perhaps her dream is coming true now. Commander Ram regularly tells everyone to keep an eye on all the prisoners present here so that they cannot commit suicide. Even if any prisoner manages to escape, they cannot flee from here. Therefore, you must follow your routine from time to time and take care of their needs to prevent suicide because their statement is very important for us. Ram receives a message on his walkie-talkie that a prisoner has gone completely mad. Ram asks his new soldiers if anyone wants to try. Upon hearing about controlling a mad prisoner, everyone was scared, but TB raised her hand and said she wanted to come. Properly suited up, she went to the mad prisoner along with other senior soldiers who were attempting to restrain him. Suddenly, the prisoner hit Evie on the face and spat on her, making her very angry. She then kicked the prisoner in the back as he fell weakly. Commander Evie told her welcome to the senior club after everything became normal. Evie was talking to her mom on a video call in her room. Her mom was saying she should get married now, but Evie refused, saying she didn't want to marry a soldier. She shared her experience with her mom about how she felt here. The next day, Evie had to go inside the jail with a lot of boots. Evie went to a certain prisoner, Ollie, and asked him what he wanted. Ollie said he wanted the Part 7 of Harry Potter, but Evie said she didn't have that book right now. Ollie had been imprisoned here for so many years that he had read all the books repeatedly. He was annoyed, but later Commander Ram came and sorted everything out, asking Evie to move forward. Evie was instructed clearly not to talk nicely to any prisoner, but Ollie kept trying to converse with Evie. Evie didn't even realize she started asking Ollie if he reads the Quran. Ollie said he reads the Quran and the Bible. He liked it a lot. Evie was a little happy with this, but suddenly, Ollie threw his poop on her through a small hole in the door. Because Ollie had been imprisoned in the same place for so many years, his mental condition had deteriorated. When all the soldiers arrived there and decided to punish Ollie, Kiwi's friends were also teasing him. Now, a condition was applied to punish Ollie, and still, with her entire staff, Kiwi went motorboating in the nearby river and enjoyed it a lot. After returning, when Evie went to the bathroom, she found a lot of adult magazines there. Suddenly, a man named Mark arrived there. Evie felt very embarrassed and quickly left. Now suddenly there was a close encounter between the two, which made them intimate, but Evie regained consciousness and immediately left. One day, TV goes inside the jail with its officers as punishment. Ollie was beaten a lot, which made him unconscious. When Evie entered, she noticed that Ollie had made many good designs on his glass with his poop. She couldn't understand why. If Ollie is such a good artist, he needs to do wrong things. Now she started to become curious about Ollie and wanted to gather more information about him. She went to the control room to read some files about Ollie, which contained statements written by Ollie, who kept saying from the beginning that he knows nothing. Ollie was only caught by the US government as a suspect. Evie doubted why Ollie was kept if he hadn't done anything wrong, so she went to ask her senior what it meant. The seniors explained to Evie that all the criminals here have some connection with terrorists, so they have been imprisoned here. One day, while monitoring all the prisoners, Evie noticed that Ollie was making a very hard puzzle on paper. After the puzzle was ready, Ollie gave it to Evie, calling it a gift for the soldier, but Evie said that all these things were against the rules. She couldn't talk to him or take anything. This made Ollie angry because he had been talking nicely to her. "Why are you so heartless, TV?" he asked. To follow protocol, she left. After 5 months had passed, she had become quite rigid. One day, when all the prisoners were refusing to eat because they were on strike, one of their friends needed a machine from the gym to stay healthy. So now the US batteries had to do it to stop the strike. Here, Ollie was playing football inside a cell. Ollie said he could touch the ball without dropping it 40 times. When Ollie did it, he dropped the ball on the last time. Ollie said, "If a beautiful soldier like you stands in front of me, how can I focus on football?" Evie started laughing a little, but Commander Ram didn't like all this. He called Evie to scold her and took her to see Ollie, who was supposed to shower there, but Commander Ram took Evie to show her position. In a way, Commander Ram was punishing Evie, and Ollie was very embarrassed. Evie went to complain about Ram, but none of the seniors listened to her, as they were involved with Ram. When Ram found out that Evie tried to complain against him, he threatened her not to do it again. Evie was getting very frustrated. She had realized that Ollie was completely innocent and had been kept here only because the US government had caught him as a suspect and imprisoned him here for so many years. Now they were both a bit disturbed. Ollie kept appearing outside during FaceTime because that was the time when Evie usually came. The whole day would pass, but Evie wouldn't show up. Ollie asked a soldier where Evie had gone, and he was told that Evie had shifted to another ship, which operated at night. Evie was now on her night shift duty, where she saw Ollie sleeping, but she didn't wake him up. Ollie somehow managed to wake up upon hearing Evie's faint voice, as if he needed to talk to her. We felt like Evie was becoming increasingly close to Ollie, which wasn't allowed for soldiers to converse with prisoners. But Evie spoke to Ollie. Ollie said he was an artist in Germany, but without any evidence, he was brought here and imprisoned. Now he was completely frustrated, so Ollie tried to harm himself with a small blade. Evie begged him not to do it, as somewhere inside, she was feeling good about Ollie. To comfort Ollie, she shared her background and name. Evie had put her hand through the small door and asked Ollie for bread so that he wouldn't commit suicide. They touched each other's hands for the first time and felt something. Evie didn't let go of Ollie's hand because she could sense his pain. 15 years of agony was not something you could just talk about. She felt Ollie's pain, but she knew that in a year, she would leave here, so she said goodbye to Ollie and quickly left. Ollie also knew that Evie had left. When Ivy was leaving, she didn't even meet Ellie because if she came in front of her, she wouldn't be able to leave. After years passed, many new soldiers come there who behave quite badly with Ellie. Now, a male soldier has come there with Boots again, but he demands that he wants the 7th part of Harry Potter. But that male soldier explained in a very bad way. Then Ollie's eyes go to a new bookshelf, where she goes to a new book, which Ivy had recommended, and started reading it, and no one else but Ivy had recommended it. She even wrote her message, saying that everything would be fine. After that, we see Ivy, who is crying a lot, because she couldn't bear Ellie in any situation. And with this incomplete love story, our story ends.